Welcome everybody to another AMA here at the Crypto Hideout. My name is Mystic Crypto. It's great to be here with you guys. Thank you everybody for stopping by as always, and hope you enjoy the time ahead. We're gonna have an hour and a half here, or maybe a bit longer. See how we go of this AMA, and there's going to be a lot of information that gets dropped. So I hope you enjoy the time. Make sure you've got yourself a nice glass of water or a cold drink and maybe a snack or whatever. Just sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. It should be definitely a good one. Now, guys, for those of you that have not been here before in the Crypto Hideout or if with any of our AMAs, let me just show you a little bit about what we do here and where we're at. So we are here at the Crypto Hideout. You can find us at t.me/thecryptohideout. It is a vetted public lounge, and we talk about all things crypto, as well as do lots of AMAs. We must have done over 300 AMAs since we've started back in 2021. Welcome everybody. Anybody that's new, thank you for stopping by. Hope you stick around with us and have a good time just hanging out. We're a pretty chill place, pretty relaxed and casual. So just hanging out and, enjoying the vibes and surviving the markets together. So anyways, thank you again for everybody for stopping by, and hope you've been having a great day wherever you are in the world. I'm over here in New Zealand, nice and bright and early for me. And so pretty excited to be doing this AMA. So why don't we dive right into it? Now, the project that we are going to be talking about and reviewing today is called VSG. Now, that stands for Vector Coin is the name of the project. They're actually rebranded, as I understand. So we're going to dive into that and learn a little bit more about what that's all about. So let me jump over to my browser screen to start off with. We're going to introduce all of the team members and anybody who would like to speak about the project from the team side. But if I jump over to my browser for you guys, it should show up properly. And I'm just going to play this little video here it's just a very brief sort of overview of the project itself. So only less than a minute here. So we'll play that. It just shows a little bit of the details about what it's all about. Well, there you have it, folks. So a blockchain coming soon, layer 2 blockchain. So with that said, why don't we dive in? Let's meet the team. Let's learn some more about what is happening, what's been cooking, and what's coming up here in the future. I'd like to extend a warm welcome to the VSC team and Whitaker himself. He's the main man behind it, I think. So welcome to the show. Welcome to the AMA, Whitaker. Thanks for stopping by, and pleasure to have you here with VSG.
Nice to be here, mate. Nice to be here. Although that video right there is a little bit outdated. A little bit.
Right.
We've not had that video for a good 3-4 months, I think. And there is a little bit of wrong information in that. It does say it's a layer 2. We are a layer 1, not a layer 2. But I can go a little bit further into that. So there's obviously we're rebranding. There's a lot of information that we previously had. And I can dive in throughout this next hour or so to explain all the changes, why it happened, why we're doing this and everything else. So it just raises more questions for you to ask me, really, to be fair.
Absolutely. Well, that sounds pretty cool to me. I mean, a layer 1 is a little bit more of a bigger undertaking than a layer 2, as I would assume, as I would guess anyways. I'm not an expert on blockchain development or anything along those lines. But yeah, let me know about... Well, we'll dive into it. We better take it one step at a time. Why don't we start off here with a little bit of introductions? First of all, maybe you can give us a brief overview, like a high-level overview of what the main idea of the project is. Obviously, you've said it, it's a layer 1 blockchain, but just in your own words, a bit of an overview. And then we can go ahead and introduce, yourself and whoever else might be on the team, the core team members here. Does that sound good?
Sounds good to me. So yeah, I'm Whitaker. I'm the co-founder for VSG and VSC. So VSG stands for Vector Smart Gas and VSC stands for Vector Smart Chain. Vector Smart Chain is a layer 1 solution that's EVM and Cosmos compatible with a flat rate gas fee. The gas fee does not fluctuate; it stays static. Now that doesn't matter whether there's $10 worth of volume on there or $10 trillion worth of volume. The gas fee will stay at $4. So our particular chain is not aimed to be the next Solana, an L2 rollup, Polygon, or anything like that. It is designed to sit between all the other blockchains. So it's designed to sit underneath Ethereum, because obviously Ethereum's got the highest gas fees out there. So we've provided a flat gas fee of $4, but it's also compatible with EVM and Cosmos. So it's kind of like a gateway between the different blockchains. But because it is EVM and Cosmos compatible, it opens it up to public and private networks too, which brings in enterprise and business solutions from the outside world into blockchain. So we're trying to solve a lot of problems with one solution, which is VSC.
Absolutely. Well, that is interesting to know. I haven't really come across many blockchains with a stable gas fee, as well as one that's both EVM and Cosmos compatible. Now, just for people to understand, maybe you can tell us a little bit, what does that mean to be EVM and Cosmos compatible for some people that may not know?
Generally, it's a different code type. So you trying to go between the blockchains, it's a completely different language. So it's very difficult to, if you're using something on the Cosmos or something's developed on the Cosmos side, it won't be compatible with the EVM side, which is obviously Ethereum, Polygon, the rest of them, and everything else. So we've actually created a solution that both of them can work in harmony. So we're not segregating the crypto market, we're actually bringing it together. So anything that's on the Cosmos side can come through VSC and migrate through onto EVMs and such like that.
Right, gotcha. Is there a reason you guys chose Cosmos, in particular for that? Like, I know, for example, Solana, I believe, is built on Rust or something like that. That's different than Cosmos, right? So,
yeah, these particular questions are generally aimed at my business partner Jason, but unfortunately he's not available at the moment. I'm the financial side of the business. Jason is generally the technical side. Although I do understand obviously how it works in a type, I'm just not as knowledgeable as Jason on this side. But there tends to be a lot of private and enterprise business on the Cosmos side. So that's why we opened it up to Cosmos and EVM, because obviously EVM brings in all your meme coin kind of things, your general day-to-day trading, the high volume of that side of things, and the Cosmos side is more like enterprise and business, that kind of thing.
Absolutely. Gotcha. Well, makes sense to me. All right, cool. Well, that's a great little overview, basic brief overview of everything. Sounds pretty exciting what you guys are building for sure. And so now why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, maybe, as the co-founder here, and I suppose there must be another co-founder. Is there two of you guys? Who else is involved on the team as well? So maybe you can introduce yourself, tell us a bit about you and your background and what you've been working on and what you've been up to, and then about anybody else that is also involved on the project in a core capacity.
Absolutely. So, like I said, my name's Wick. I'm the co-founder, and my background generally is entrepreneurial businesses within the UK, in all sorts of different sectors. So I've done a lot of in real life businesses. Currently own a transport business, as well as VSG and VSC. I've done a lot of institutional trading through prop trading with Barclays. So I kind of understand the back OTC markets and everything else with the financial markets, with FX and commodities and such like. So my role within VSG and VSC is the community side, the financial side, the idea and driving forward of business development, and going forward with that. We've got Jason Ansell, which is our CTO. He's the technical side. He generally does a lot of like dApp developments, bringing new things to chain. We've also got Frag and Strathcole, which they're the L1 developers. Those two developers were the two that helped LUNC restart their chain after the big collapse. They're the two guys that are innovating behind the scenes for VSC. We've got Oz Sultan, which is our VP of Enterprises. He is an enterprise solutions specialist that's got all the contacts into the big business side of the world. And when I say big business, I mean billion-dollar business side of things. He will be the one that will be contacting the businesses for VSC to bring them forward. He also helped run the campaign for Donald Trump back in 2016, I think it was. I don't know, whichever. We've got Mike Veltz, which is our business development manager. He has all the connections to all the top tier one exchanges. He's a bit of a fixer. His contacts are to no end. If we need something, we go to Mike. He's got the contact for it, and we move forward. He's done a lot of things with like Polkadot, hackathons, all these kind of things, which we will be progressing forward with as well. So that's the team as a roundup.
All right. Well, sounds like a pretty well-rounded team you've got there, and good people involved, or at least knowledgeable people by the sounds of it. So yeah, that's really awesome. Well, hey, look, there's a lot of exciting news that's been going on lately with VSG, just from the research I've done in the background. I'm coming into it with a fresh face as well. I haven't been involved with the project for any great length of time or anything like that. So I'm really looking forward to learning for myself as well. So why don't you tell me a little bit about, what has happened up to this stage? So I know you guys have been launched already for some time, and now you're currently going through a rebrand. So when did you guys start off? When did you start building everything? When did you start working on it? How long has this been in development up till now?
So basically, we first launched on the Ethereum blockchain as Vitalik Smart Gas, as an L2 homage to him, really. We put it in pre-sale through Pink Sale. We raised 27.18 ETH at the time. We moved forward from the launch, started developing the L2. As things started to move forward, more people came to the team. We started to realize that after a time that we had actually the opportunity to move into an L1, which the problem you've got with developing blockchains, you can only develop what your developers can develop. I know it sounds daft, but that is literally, you're kind of held by your developers' knowledge of blockchain and what, how they can go forward. So at the particular time, we only had the development team to be able to create a very, very decent L2. As time came along, we managed to get in contact with the LUNC L1 team, and we did a deal with them, and they come in to change our L2 basically into a brand new from scratch L1. It's not something that we've scratched around and forked off certain blockchains. We've actually started from scratch with it. So over the time, we launched, like I said, back in December. We've done a lot of community building, a lot of different events, as you can see from in here. We've got quite a fierce, loyal community following. I think we're around about 2,000 holders as such. So as time's gone on, like I say, we've done a lot of different trending. We've brought a lot of new people in and everything else, but the market's been really, really difficult. It's been very, very hard for us to move forward. But while we've been developing, it's not been too bad. And I think we start at? About 250k market cap we started at. We hit our all-time high at 39 million. And then when we pulled the liquidity, which was on the 12th of August, for us to rebrand into Vector, we pulled the liquidity, I think it was 7.2 million, something like that. Right. The reason why we decided that it was time for a rebrand is because the L1 was getting to the point where it was just about to be finished. The public testnet was ready to be launched. And we got advised basically by our VP of Enterprise. He basically said, we can't go into big business with the name Vitalik Smart Gas, especially when we are direct competition for Ethereum. It just doesn't make sense. You know, the questions that would get raised is, why are you using the head developer of or the creator of Ethereum as your first name? It just didn't resonate. So we put it out there. We decided to go with Vector Smart Gas and Vector Smart Chain. And it just kind of sat well, and we got into the full process of rebranding everything, changing the logos, changing the name, and it just gave us a new lease of life to rebrand, take the liquidity out, and start again. Obviously, our contract was renounced, so we couldn't change the name on Etherscan or anything like that. So that's the reason why we had to take the liquidity and start again with it.
Right, understood. Yeah, makes sense. I think that that you probably would run into some sort of problems, or at least questions, if it's called Vitalik and you guys really gain some great traction and, you know, blow up as a blockchain, right? So makes sense to me. Now, that's absolutely impressive, reaching an all-time high of 39 million with a starting market cap of 250K, right? And I think, as you mentioned, you said you did an initial pre-sale, something around 27 Ethereum, or is that what you said that you raised at the start? Now, that would only be what I don't know what the price of Ethereum would have been at the time, but say it would be, you know, 70 to 90 grand or something like that, I guess.
It was 12, I think it was between 12 and $1,400 or something, Ethereum at the time.
All right. Even cheaper then. So it must have been like $40,000 or something. Now, the interesting thing to me is that, you know, I don't know the technicalities behind building a blockchain or anything like this, but it doesn't seem like that much money to raise to build a blockchain, right? Or to build a, you know, full on transition to a layer one and all of this, right? So this is what I'm wondering. I'm like, how the hell did you guys afford to do this and pay everybody and you know, get to where you are today?
So, I mean, the thing is, it's all about raising money and understanding, bringing up ideas, using what you've got coming, and raising funds that way. So the way we kind of funded our project was through NFTs. So we brought out a collection of NFTs, 3 of which there was a carbon, a green, and a gold NFT. You'll have probably seen us earlier in the chat going, get yourself a green quite quick, this, that, other. You know, and at the time, we provided the NFT buyers with staking. I think the staking reward started off at 1,380%. And it just kind of obviously went down. The more people that bought NFTs, the ratio went down. But we put staking on for the NFT holders for quite a long period of time. But the NFTs come with something later down the line as well. And because this is just going back into what the flat rate will do, it allows you to project manage and project forward. Whereas like a normal chain's got, you know, gas that's literally nothing. We've got a $4 gas fee. All right. So, and it stays the same all the way through. So it's very easy to do the calculations. If we do 10,000 transactions, obviously it's $4 times 10,000, which is obviously $40,000. So we were able to create an NFT collection to give residual rewards to our blockchain. All right. So without going too far into it, each individual NFT will give an individual reward for every single transaction on our chain. All right. So, for example, the carbon NFT. If you hold a carbon NFT, you will get $1 from every single transaction on that chain, split between the 150 holders. So obviously, if we do 10,000 transactions, that's 10 grand split between 150 people. And if we're doing that on a daily basis, you'll get that on a daily basis. There is other NFTs, but I can talk a little bit further down the line on that.
Yeah, well, what I'm curious here is there's a lot of different NFTs, as I understand it. By the way, guys, for those of you that didn't hear before when we started off, we're actually going to be giving away one of the NFTs for VSG. It's going to be a gold NFT. I think the current price for that to purchase one, if you wanted to go out and get one yourself, it's like 0.1 Ethereum, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, we're going to be giving one of those away. So let's find out some more about what are the full-on benefits, or what are the differences between all these different NFTs? How many are there in total? How is that? I guess they all receive revenue share. Is that right? And how is that sort of split up between them?
They do, yes. So there's 4 in the collection. We've got Diamond NFT, which is the top tier one. We've got Carbon, which we still class as a top tier one, Green and Gold. So I'll start from the top. A Diamond NFT will provide you with 19 cents per transaction split between 25 holders. All right. So there's only 25 of those. So obviously it's the 19 cents per transaction. It adds up quite quickly. Also with the Diamond NFT, you get DEX rewards, or DEX royalties, as we like to call them. So basically, every time someone puts $1 through the main DEX, which is vscdex.io, every time someone puts $1 through that, you will get a share of the fees. People may or may not know, but obviously on every DEX out there, for like Uniswap, for example, you get charged a fee for every dollar that you put through there, and the current price is 0.03% of each dollar that you put through Uniswap will be as a DEX fee. We've got the same on our DEX, and the Diamond holders will get 0.01% of that 0.03% shared between the 25 holders. So it's a very high reward, bearing in mind that these NFTs are lifetime. They're not, we don't just give this away for a couple of months. This is once you've bought it, it's yours. These rewards will stay the same the whole period of the time for the length of the blockchain. So that's the Diamond ones. Unfortunately, sold out. The only one that's available right now is on OpenSea for 6 ETH. We minted out the full collection at 2.75 ETH. And like I said, the resale value is already 6 ETH of those. So that's the Diamonds.
Right. Now, I'm having a look here through. I'm looking here through the OpenSea page, which where all these NFTs are listed, and I see, like, for example, the Carbon NFT. It's sold out. The floor price is 27 ETH. So if anybody is interested, it's only 27 ETH for the floor there. But looking through them all, and we've got the green NFT as well. I see it's currently minting, so people could publicly go and purchase one at the moment. It's 0.4 Ethereum by the looks of it. And then we've got the gold NFT also being minted. There's just 10.4% of those minted so far, sitting at 0.1 Ethereum for one of those, or about $250 there. So yeah, those are available for people to get their hands on right now if they wish, on OpenSea as well. And the links are available on the website, vsgofficial.com. But yeah, is there some more you'd like to tell us about, say, for example, the green NFTs or the gold NFTs, these ones that are still available for people, the benefits behind getting their hands on one?
We'll not tease them with the carbons. Although they do pop up now and again. I think one popped up on OpenSea the other day for about 3 hours for like 4 ETH or 3 ETH or whatever it was. I don't know. And they tend to get snapped up pretty quick. But to be fair, the green ones are really good. And if you use your mind and understand multiplications, then you can also buy quite a few of them to get yourself to a carbon level. So the green ones, basically, if you buy a green NFT, it will allow you to connect to the dApp, and you'll get 25 cents for every transaction on our chain, split between the 350 holders. And I think the calculations that all the guys have done and everything else, if you buy 10 of these, it is the equivalent of having a carbon, right? So if you've got 10 green NFTs in your wallet, it will be the equivalent. So, and which is obviously 4 ETH, which is, you generally don't get many carbons available for less than that. And I've seen the carbon volume recently has been 20, I think it was 24 ETH we had on volume in carbon. So they are very, very popular, and people do, trade them between each other. And it'll only happen with the green as well. Once the green is sold out, the floor value just keeps on going up on everything. So people kind of get the gist of them.
Gotcha. And how about the gold ones then? So if the green ones are 25 cents for every transaction, and that's split between all the green NFT holders, I think you said 350 of them. What is the split up for the gold ones then, which are the cheapest available at 0.1 Ethereum?
So the gold ones are obviously entry level. We like to be fair. So we understand everyone's budget is different. So we've kind of structured it so everyone gets a bite of the cherry. And so we designed the gold ones to be 0.1 ETH, and you get 10 cents for every transaction on chain, split between the 1,000 holders.
Okay, understood. So there you go. So that's the gold one, 1,000 NFTs available. And I mean, you can see that information here on my screen as well. But yeah, this looks like it's the way that, has been helping to fund development is by the sale of these NFTs, as well as, obviously the pre-sale they had at the start. But the thing is, these guys, they're planning to give back to everybody, right, that has the NFTs. Not only could you sell them for, potential speculative rise in price as the blockchain continues to develop and everything else, but you also get that revenue share just by holding some of these NFTs and get back to, get your money back like that as well. So what I'm curious about, you said that 10 cents from every transaction goes for the gold NFTs, 25 cents for the green NFTs. And if you combine all of that revenue share together across all these NFTs, you said that the total gas fee for each transaction is stabilized at $4 per transaction, which is a really interesting system. I'd like to chat a little bit more about that as well. But you mentioned that, the revenue share split across all these. And what's the total percentage of revenue share split? You might have already told me, but out of the $4, how much is going to the NFTs?
For the NFT holders, it's $1.54. So every transaction is $1.54 will go to all the NFT holders.
Right, gotcha. 1.54, so somewhere around like just under 50% or so. And then I think you said the way it's split up, you said 95 cents is for the diamond NFTs per transaction, and then the rest are for the other NFTs, right?
19 cents for the diamond NFT holders, because obviously there's only 25 of them.
Right, 19.
Yeah, not 90.
Okay.
They wish. They wish.
Yeah.
So yeah, basically it works out. I think it's $1.54. But obviously, what we've got to understand is our gas fee is slightly higher than obviously your normal, like low gas, like Solana and everything else. We don't want to provide a trading environment like it's a casino. We want more of a trading environment like Ethereum. But we want it more stable, right? We don't want to be in a situation like I'm an ETH maxi. I always have been. I've always traded on Ethereum. And I've been through the Solana days of, people just selling for $1 and this, that, it's one of those things. And we want to provide a situation where people are trading, but they can do one or two things. They can keep tabs on how much gas they're spending quite easily, right? If you've done 10 trades in a day, you've spent $40 on gas, right? You do that on Ethereum, you could be in the morning trading for, $3 or $4, and then in the afternoon you want to exit your trade and it's like $60, and you're just like, I'm going to fucking do this. So, it's just on the trader side, the stable gas helps, in all aspects.
Sure. So,
it's one of those things where it's happened to me myself, when I've been trading and everything else, and I've been trapped in trades sometimes because I've not got enough gas in my wallet, and I've had to go and grab, some more Ethereum quick, and by that time I've lost my position or whatever. It's inconvenient. So a stable gas environment is such a better situation.
Definitely, yeah. That's a very interesting thing. Maybe they're out there already to some extent, but I haven't really come across stable gas blockchains. At least they haven't, they're not greatly popular that I've found so far. So that would be really interesting to see that sort of presented to the market and hopefully gain a lot of traction and everything. And it seems like you guys are doing a fantastic job.
There isn't
one.
Oh,
there's not. Is there not?
No, not that I'm aware of
Oh,
either. I've never seen one. Apparently, we are the first movers on that side, especially being a Cosmos and EVM compatible chain. So we are. There's a lot of first moving going on here.
yeah. Well, that's super interesting. And as I was saying, as far as gaining traction, it seems like you guys are doing a great job so far. Just looking at the support you get, simply when I announced this AMA and everything, everybody's piling in and really excited, and seems like you've built quite the community there. All you guys, as a family, as a team, as a community, supporting the project, you guys are doing good work out there. And yeah, it's amazing the market caps you reached already in the past. So looking forward to the future here. Speaking of that, I think you guys launched the first iteration of the token, the first token on Ethereum. It was like, what, 4 months ago or something like that? Is that right?
That was back in the first one we launched on Ethereum was back on the 18th of December, 2023. So, it's been a while. I think it's like 10 months. Is that 10 months?
I suppose, yeah, something along those lines. And would you say that, before you launched the token and everything, how long would you say you've actually been working on the entire project, like since its foundation till now? Is that over a year or?
No, we started working on the blockchain the day we launched the token, right? So we've been working on it since then. And I mean, obviously we were an L2 and then we switched to an L1. So this is why it took us a lot longer than we first anticipated, because I think we were looking at a roll-up type L2 to start with that was going to take six weeks to build and everything else. And it's evolved basically. And it's evolved into what it is now, which is, we couldn't have dreamt at the beginning that we would get into a position where we would be able to have the correct people and the funds to actually build a from scratch L1, especially something that's doing first mover kind of things, So we're in a very, very lucky position. And this is why a lot of our holders get very excited, because they understand, have been around all this time with us. They understand what we've got. It's not a case of we've like forked off this and everything else, which a lot of other projects do and everything else. They've seen us go through the motions of creating something that is absolutely brand fire new. And even the version that we're creating it on is the newest version out there, right? So it's everything about VSC is just completely. This is why we call it revolutionary, because it is literally new tech. So it's really exciting from all sides.
Yeah, fresh and unique as well, like with the stable gas fees. Now, speaking about those stable gas fees, as we mentioned, obviously that creates stability for traders. They're not worried about, today gas is, $50 for a transaction and the next day it's a couple dollars or whatever. It's just, stable, but it also relates to less degenerate trading to some extent, considering, on Solana. And a lot of, for example, back in the days of the Binance Smart Chain, when that was going wild in 2021, I mean, still to today as well, all this sort of gambly trading, meme coins and the such, that's sort of looking to not eliminate that, but, prevent it to some extent, or at least get some more solid investment and holders on board that are not looking to, do all these quick flips and this sort of thing by the sounds. Now, the question I had about the gas fee, you said it's $4 stable gas fee. Why did you come across that particular number? Why did you decide on $4, if anything?
Basically, it comes from my background a little bit. With different types of trading on CFDs and prop trading in the background, we went through this on the FX and commodities side with fluctuating fees and everything else, with doing OTC deals and all these kind of things, and it was a problem in that industry. And then obviously when I come into the crypto side of things and started trading on Ethereum and learning about all these different fluctuating gas fees, it was the same principle. So that's where the idea come from. It was like, well, it worked when we put a stable fee on trades through FX and commodities and stuff like that. So there's no reason why it can't work through crypto, right?
Yep, absolutely. Gotcha. So like, yeah, it's $4. is that the interesting thing here is that usually the way blockchains are working, as I understand, right, you pay a higher gas fee, your transaction gets processed quicker, you can, buy something faster than someone else or swap something, whatever you need to do, the higher priority, the higher gas you're spending. So I'm guessing that's not available. So how does that work in this system, right? Because people are also paying the same gas fee. Is there not priorities and things like that?
No. So this is the problem with the fluctuating dynamic gas. They allow the validators to pick and choose how they want to validate the transactions. And we basically won't allow that. So the nodes and validators on our chain are bound to the gas structure. Their node cannot go out of it. They can't, manipulate it anyway. It's literally, it's $4 and that it. And if they do try to go out of it, then basically their node will get jailed. It's just all the validators that we've got set up are all in contracts. They're not, they understand fully that it's got to be a flat gas fee, right?
Right, gotcha. So it's just like how do you say it? Like what's the word? First come, first serve basis. So whoever makes the transaction, They get served first. There's no priorities, nothing like that.
There's no priorities, which will not slow the blockchain down as well, because it's when they're doing this, it's obviously they're picking and choosing. They're not doing it as efficiently as they can. Whereas if they've got nothing to choose from, they're just picking the transaction that comes first. It makes the blockchain faster.
Right, understood. And what about you say there's a flat gas fee, $4, but there's all sorts of different transactions that we do in crypto blockchains, whether that's like token approvals, whether that's swapping, whether that's unstaking or staking something, whether that's all these different contracts, functions that we call and that we use, different websites and so on and so forth. Some things are infinitely cheaper than others. Like say sending tokens is generally cheaper than swapping tokens, right? So is that all the same, $4 across everything?
It's all the same, but we've got, like I say, in a situation where, like the bigger projects, if they're going to bring lots and lots of transactions to chain and everything else, we will put it to a vote through the DAO. All right. So through the delegates and the validators, they'll get to choose whether they want to onboard these projects to give them a smaller gas fee. But that is also down to the delegates and the validators, not something we're going to get involved with.
Right, understood. Now, speaking about those validators as well, is there opportunities for people to this day to become validators now? How did you guys select those people? What did they do to become a validator? And what do they get back? Do they get, say, the other amount of the gas fee that's not going to the revenue share NFT holders, or
yeah, so there is a structure behind it, which we're not going to release the final structure as yet because we're still finishing off for mainnet. There is opportunities for validators. Anyone who's interested in a validator may send in details, pop in the Telegram, ask about being a validator. We will put you on the list. We have got quite a long list of validators waiting for information for us to put forward so they can wind up nodes and everything else. So it's something that I can't really allude to exactly how it works in the background for them until we've completely finished.
Understood. Gotcha. Well, looking forward to finding out that information in the future when it does get released. Now, there's all sorts of different blockchains across there. Obviously, VSG is a new, fresh one with the stable gas fees that we talked about and the NFT revenue shares and a lot of interesting, features here. But in terms of the consensus mechanism, now, guys, for those of you that don't know, I'm sure many of you do know, but consensus mechanism is basically how transactions are validated, how the blockchain operates and validates transactions. At least that's as I understand it. Again, I'm not a technical blockchain expert myself, but what is the consensus mechanism you guys are using? Is it the same as like Ethereum? I think Ethereum's proof of stake, right? So
it's a proof of stake network. Yeah, this is moving on to probably questions for Jason, but yeah, it is a proof of stake network, so it will work with validators and delegates. Yes, so there will be a staking opportunities with validators, and obviously validators getting more stake, they'll get more percentage, and it'll work in that way. Yes.
Sure, gotcha. Cool stuff. All right. Well, yeah, lots of exciting things coming up. Obviously, you've mentioned your rebranding and everything like that with now going to Vector Coin. Is that going to come with, what's to come for that? Is that going to release a new website and stuff as well, new logos, or what is coming? And as well as what are we looking for in terms of the actual blockchain release, right? And the new token, right? Or
so
coin.
At this moment in time, we've just gone, like I say, we pulled the liquidity on the 12th of August, and we entered a IEO with CoinStore, which is now finished and completed. We are listed currently on CoinStore, so you can actually buy Vector Coin as we're speaking right now on CoinStore. The IEO went very successful. We went to raise 500k. We actually raised 1.3 million. The way the IAO works, you can only actually take 500k. It doesn't matter if you overraise; they just unfortunately have to pay them back the money. But we hit the goal we were meant to hit, which was 500k. We went through an observation period, which was a 3-day observation period with CoinStore. We passed all that with flying colours and everything else. And I think the current price on CoinStore, I've not had a look for an hour or so now, but I think the current price is 0.0008, something like that. I'm sure one of the guys in here will be able to put a screenshot of the price in the chat for us. So yeah, it is live as we speak on CoinStore. We have our DEX launch. So we'll be re-adding the liquidity into the DEX as Vector Smart Gas on the 5th of September. So that's going to be quite a hyped launch. We're doing a lot of marketing around it. We've got a lot of partnerships to be announcing. There's a lot of different things moving around. We are expecting a lot of volume coming through the DEX for sure.
Gotcha. So people can actually purchase the token at the moment, or I guess you call it a coin, because this is going to be the main operating native gas fee, crypto for use on the blockchain. So I suppose you call it a coin, VSC, Vector Coin. Now you can actually purchase that on CoinStore right now. In the meantime, until it does launch on the DEXs, the decentralized exchanges, and everything else. So if you do have a CoinStore account or want to make one, I suppose you can get some early stage tokens or coins. I keep saying tokens, but
yeah, the price is going to be about the same as the DEX. There's not that much liquidity on CoinStore, but obviously, if anyone wants to put a buy order in, by all means, we'll look at getting it filled for you. It's one of those things where we've kind of done it in a backwards way for the relaunch. A lot of people launch on DEX, then they go to centralized exchanges, right? But because obviously it was an IEO to raise funds, we did it in that manner, backwards. So, it's apparently it's fine to do it in that way as well.
Right. Well, it's a bit of a bummer, that you've you put a limit of $500,000. You guys raised 1.3 million or something. There's that much excitement, that much people that wanted to actually get involved, but you had to cut it off at 500k because they don't accept an overflow.
Yeah, it's a bit daft. It's a bit silly, really. But they've only got so much liquidity, and they can't dilute the liquidity throughout those holders. So it's just how it is. It should just go from 0 to 500 and stop at that point. That was my argument, but they said no. It has to go out the full 24-hour period, which was exceptional, really, because they raised that in a 24-hour period. I was kind of gobsmacked of how busy it was and how crazy. So yeah, for sure.
Definitely, yeah, it's a lot of money. So, anyways, the VSC, when this launches on DEXs, it's going to be on the VSC blockchain, right?
So we're launching it on Ethereum. There's a reason, because obviously we've not got mainnet live, right? So there will be an ERC20 version and there will be a VSC version, but it's down to the holders. We've obviously got supply that's ready to go on to VSC, and it'll be down to the holders to migrate their holdings over through the IBC link that we've got, which is a faster process than a liquidity bridge or anything like that. So it'll kind of go into VSC that way. Whenever the people want to bring the tokens through to trade on the chain.
Right, understood. Well, I'm sure people are really excited, really at the edge of their seats, ready for the blockchain to release the mainnet to come release, and then they can start earning on their NFTs and everything else. And probably that would result, especially with lots of people building projects and building on chain and stuff, will result in a great boost to the NFT floor prices, I would imagine. So in terms of that, what are we expecting for the mainnet launch? What stage are we at in that development phase?
So mainnet launch is going to be roughly at the end of September. We've got the public testnet live now. We've currently got the DEX, the IDO platform. I think we've got an NFT platform coming. Like I said, my partner Jason's the technical side, and he generally whips through all this stuff for you. So I'm sorry if anyone finds me a little bit vague, but these are questions. We usually do this in a tandem manner. I tend to do all the financial side, and Jason tends to do all the technical side. So I do apologise if anyone thinks I'm being a little bit vague. But yeah, the public testnet is live at the moment. If anyone wants to come and have a go on testnet, join the Telegram. We've got a full topicked Telegram, so we've got testnet on there, so you just go in there, ask for some testnet tokens, you can jump on. The community are really engaging with it. I think we do a couple of thousand transactions a day on there, just basically wallet to wallet transfers and other bits and bobs. We've got because we've got the DEX coming live on there, we can launch some trade like token contracts, so people can trade and everything else. And to be fair, it's just data that we're collecting at the moment. The developers are keeping a strong eye on what's going on. And, it's the more data we can collect, the more bugs we can get out of it and, get going. But yeah, I mean, the end of September, start of October is where we're looking at. It's all dependent on market conditions though, because it was always once we rolled into an L1, we decided that we're going to wait for the best market conditions. And we all know from historic bull runs, the end of September, start of October is when the retail money starts to flow in and we start to get the proper bull run activity. And we really want to start and launch VSC at the very start of that, to give us the best outset. We've got a very, very good PR and marketing team that will constantly roll out in all the big arenas so people can see that there's a new blockchain there. That side of things is well taken care of. We literally just need the polished product, and it'll be go time.
Sounds pretty good to me. Yeah, I think you are. First of all, it's a great time to launch, simply because, yes, I also expect the markets to be doing quite well as we come into October. I think December, this is just my personal views. I'm not a financial advisor by any means, and I should say that, nothing is financial advice, right? But, I feel like we might have a bit more of a dip in September, or at least some stability, if anything. I don't think we'll be pumping that much in September, maybe as we come near the end of it. But I think into October, November, those, again, as you mentioned, very historically strong months for crypto and also some other markets too, tech markets and stuff. So that will be really, really interesting. So it sounds like a fantastic time to launch. Not only that, but because it's not that far away, right? We're at the 3rd of September. Well, at least for me, it's the 3rd of September now. I suppose for a lot of you guys, it's 2nd of September. So this, the whole launch is coming, potentially, hopefully the end of this month, not too long for people to wait. I'm sure there's a lot of hype, a lot of people getting excited. And I've noticed you're doing lots of AMAs, sort of kicking off a bit of a marketing campaign and trying to get the word out there. So I guess I was just wanting to ask, what is the strategy coming up to that launch? Is it just, planning to continue doing different AMAs like this? Is there anything else you guys are particularly working on? I know you mentioned you're getting a PR company on board to actually help with that side of things too. So maybe let me know a bit about what is really planned here in terms of exposure.
Yeah, I mean, there's different types of marketing. Obviously, you've got to understand what process you're in. So obviously at this moment in time, we're in new launch mode, as they would say. So we're going to do all your normal AMAs. We've got a marketing company that's going to announce the partnership with us. It's a well-known brand. We all know them. but I'm not going to, allude to who it is just yet, because obviously I'll let them announce it. We're going to be in partnership with them. We've got a PR company that we work with closely. They do all the rollouts into like you Today, Crypto Basic, Yahoo Finance, all those kind of things. And they're going to be using those assets on the regular. So any kind of new updates, it's going to get chucked in all the medias. It's not going to be a case of we're going to do one set of PR and that's it. It's going to be constant daily, weekly, monthly PR updates of every single thing that we're going through. The other side of things is it kind of switches for the team. Once the launch is done on the decks and everything else, the volume's rolling okay, we then turn into pushing the transactions to the chain. So obviously when we do get to, mainnet launch, we need to be doing things like hackathons. We will be speaking to people like Polkadot. They do big hackathons and everything else, and doing some collabs with different blockchains to bring developers to chain. We will be speaking to the tier 1 exchanges to do the same. I'm not going to tell you what tier 1s we've been speaking to, but there's 3 of them in the top 10 that we've been speaking to allude to these kind of things. We're well averse to how a launch should go. We've done this once before. We sent it from 250k to 39 million. So we know what we're doing on that side of things. We don't expect any less from this launch. Obviously we're going to be starting about an 8 million market cap. It's 8 to 10, something like that, just depending on what the liquidity is at the time and everything else. It's just going to roll out as normal, and move from there, really.
Right, yeah. Well, I also noticed you guys already have a few sort of KOL kind of guys on board as well. I think someone I saw in particular that's supporting you guys a lot is Dr. Crypto. He said he jumped in the chat with us here, and I see him talking, and he just mentioned all of those tier 1 exchanges in our chat, by the way, for,
Did he?
I don't know if he's allowed to do that. Yeah, he did.
No, he's not allowed to do that. And no, they're the wrong 3. So there you go, Dr. Crypto. They're the wrong ones, sir. Nice try.
Okay, well, maybe he's speculating, perhaps just speculating.
Yes,
so,
he's very speculative. He's a great holder, and he shills the living shit out of VSG anywhere he can. So he's a great loyalist. So I'm not going to pin him down for that, but but yeah. Oh dear, that's
gotcha.
Funny.
Awesome. Well, I mean, it's certainly some exciting stuff. So, guys, and anybody that might have joined a little late, I'm sure pretty much everyone's been in here for a long time now in the AMA. But yeah, it's launching here for the VSC blockchain. They're rebranding and everything like that. Going through this whole process, because before they were Vitalik Smart Gas, now they're moving to Vector Coin. And yeah, they'll be launching hopefully the actual full-on mainnet blockchain, if all things go as planned, near the end of the month or potentially start of October, coming into that pretty bullish period for the markets and everything. So that's pretty exciting. Now, how would you recommend people to get involved at this stage? Would you just say, get some NFTs, or what would be your best recommendation?
The first thing I'd tell anyone to do is just come and join the Telegram, because you'll quickly find that we've got a very, very strong base. We've a lot of projects that you'll join late or whatever. You'll see that our guys have been around since December, since January. Do you know what I mean? They've all been around for a long time. They all know everything about the project. Come and learn. There's plenty of material out there for you to have a look at. Yes, if you want to buy an NFT, get into an NFT. They're not going to be around for much longer. But just make sure you do your own research first. Make sure it's something that you want to hold long term. We're not, we're a project that values holders. If you want to come in and you want to get involved, please do your research and understand that this is something that we're going to take for the long term. It's not something that we're here for 5 minutes. When the blockchain's launched, that it doesn't mean it's work over. It means it's work starts. This process from December to now has just literally been the run up to the main event. Once the main event's been launched, it's down to us as the team to start driving those transactions. And with the team that we've got, with the enterprise businesses that we can go and speak to, because if I could, say the names on here. I guarantee every single one of you in this room would ape very hard to our launch, but I'm not allowed to, unfortunately. You know, we know we're very, very confident that we are going to be one of the shining light blockchains for 2024, 2025. Let me tell you.
Amazing. Well, again, for people that maybe have joined a little later or just got in here, you know, maybe catching halfway through the AMA, just a few features that are very interesting about VSG is that they, as mentioned before, they are a stable gas blockchain. So the gas fee does not vary. It's stabilized, right? So you're not worrying about priorities. It's a first come, first served basis as far as how transactions are processed. All of this sort of a kind of interesting feature. And there's not been, to my knowledge, to anybody's knowledge that I've spoken to, we do not know of another stable gas chain blockchain. So that's really interesting stuff. And I think simply for the uniqueness of it, is uniqueness a word? Uniqueness? But you know, how unique it is, that itself is a selling point and something that is just going to attract attention right away, right? So one of the things that are mentioned about the NFTs that we're talking about, again, you know, as has been mentioned by Whitaker, if you are interested, make sure to do your research, look into things, and get involved with the Telegram group. First of all, you can find that. I think I'm showing that on my screen now. I'm showing the NFTs again. If you want to get involved with the Telegram group, you can find them at VSG Portal. You can also find it in all of our links available in our pinned messages. You'll find that there. But go get involved with Telegram first of all if you are interested in the project. That's where you're going to stay up to date and, you know, get all of the juice, all the alpha, all of the updates. You know, keep your finger on the pulse over there. But the thing I wanted to mention is that if you're interested, you know, you can do some research in those NFTs, and what they're doing is they're actually giving back revenue share on each and every transaction that's processed on the blockchain. So that's pretty interesting in a way that, you know, obviously you can get something back for participating in the blockchain to some extent. So that's really interesting. I just wanted to point that out there. But I think the main, you know, reason for this AMA as well, and for getting this marketing out, is to prepare everybody for the upcoming rebrand and actual end of month, hopefully end of month or October, or when it does get released, not too long, of the VSC blockchain that will be coming out here. And you'll be able to get your hands on some tokens itself. I think you mentioned starting market cap somewhere around 7 to 8 million. So that will be really, really interesting as well. So I just wanted to put that information out there for anybody that might have joined a little late or whichever, just to give you a quick rundown and update about where we are. Now, a few other things that I saw, you know, you mentioned it's going to be a proof of stake mechanism for the blockchain in order to verify the transactions. So is there, I saw there's a link. I found this link for staking, vsgstaking.netlify. Is that currently still operational, or how does that work? Is there going to be further staking in the future?
Sorry, you broke up then. Can you just say that again?
Oh, goodness. Where did I break up? I was talking way too long for in a row.
Me. You said something about the.
All right,
I've just seen it on screen. Right, okay, yeah, that was our staking DApp, and if Chris is in here, he'll probably be melting at the face looking at that right now. He was the first guy to get 1380% APR for a couple of days, so he melted quite a lot of tokens. He was quite happy with that. So yeah, when we first started, you know, to encourage people to buy the NFTs, we had to give them something back. So at the time, you could buy an NFT and connect your wallet to that DApp, and it recognized the NFT and it give you a staking value. We had that running for probably 3 to 4 months before we ended the program. But yeah, once you get on chain, the staking rewards on this side have gone. They went a while ago, but as soon as you get on chain, then obviously you can connect to the same DApp that will be on VSC, and you'll start collecting your transactional rewards from every transaction on chain. And then obviously there will be an opportunity for staking your tokens with validators through the staking and delegate program.
Gotcha. Now, something we haven't really covered much yet because it wasn't a great concern for me personally in terms of this particular project, but it is something that people always want to understand and to be secure about and everything. And that is exactly that, security. So in terms of that security, like, are you guys getting, say, contract audits done for the new coin and everything, and the blockchain itself? You know, I think you mentioned how you're doing bug bounties and you're going to do extensive testing, make sure everything is secure and working. But the last thing we would want is some sort of, breakdown of the chain or security flaw or whatever. So tell us a little bit about how you're going to make sure that everything runs smoothly and prevent any of that.
So there's a couple of things. Firstly, for the contract, for the native token, we're currently speaking to Certic. So obviously they will audit our code for the token. And then on the other side, Oz, which is our enterprise specialist, he has a connection into an audit department within the government. So they do blockchain auditing, and they'll basically come in and try and break the chain. So we will be using that method before we go to mainnet to see if there's any hacks that are possible, before we go fully to mainnet. Gotcha.
Makes sense. All right, cool. So there's that. And in terms of the team as well, are you guys KYC'd and doxed and everything? I know it doesn't really even do much. If people have bad intentions, they do them regardless of KYCs and whatever else. But, some people like to see that or know that. So is that something you guys have done?
Yeah. We're every single one of the core team members are all KYC'd and doxed.
Amazing. Good stuff. Awesome. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I think, we've certainly covered a lot of different stuff here today. I'm trying to think about other things that people may be interested in here. What about from your side? Is there anything else that you'd like to mention, maybe like partnerships or anything else on your mind?
I mean, yeah, we have got partnerships in the background, but I can't. The problem I've got at the minute, we've got that many NDAs flying around. I've got to be very careful what I say. So this is my issue at the moment, and it's hard from my side of things because it's my job to try and bring new investors in and get you to get interested. When I can't say these names, it is difficult, but I can assure you, there's partnerships that you wouldn't believe. I mean, we've got there's a few things I can tell you. We've got, for example, there's a particular project called Sketch to Animate. It's two Disney sketch artists that did Lilo and Stitch, Lion King, all these kind of guys. We've invested into their project. They're currently in a race to do a full feature cartoon. I think they're raising something like $200 million. I think they're halfway through that process, and they will be launching on VSC. So there's these kind of connections. Jason's very connected in the entertainment side of things. So he's got a lot of IPs, into famous people and everything else that are going to come in and launch NFT collections and all these kind of things, which is going to bring more eyes to the chain. And then we've got the enterprise side of things, where this is real world businesses. And when I say real world businesses, we connect with these businesses on a daily basis, right? We've got connections directly into the top tier executive lounges for these kind of people, so you can actually speak to them and get business deals done. Once we start doing connections with these businesses and they start to announce that they're taking certain parts of their business into blockchain with VSC, that's where the overall eyes will start to come into VSC itself. So, we're not worried about the transaction basis. We're not worried that $4, we're not as cheap as Solana. It's a case of getting the brand out there in a certain way, rather than just the normal DeFi space. We're not just aiming at the normal DeFi space. We've got entertainment, we've got enterprise, and we've got DeFi. There's three different channels for us to use, and we've got all the bases covered with each team member.
All right. Yeah, got it. Cool. Well, that's certainly you guys sound like you're ready to go. And need I mention as well, for anybody that didn't know, so the project's been going for some time now, I think since December 2023, as was mentioned earlier. But these guys started at 250K market cap, made it all the way to 39 million market cap. at an all-time high here for the first iteration of the token. And obviously now they're doing the rebrand, changing from Vitalik Smart Gas to Vector Coin, and now all of that's going forward. So they do know how to launch a coin. They do know how to do marketing and everything like that. So yeah, I'm looking forward to what's going on personally. I'm going to definitely be keeping my finger on the pulse and getting involved here, or keeping an eye on everything. Again, guys, if you'd like to also stay up to date, because as I understand, and just looking through all of the information available and all of the people involved with the community, they're very knowledgeable. The guys that are community members of VSC and the project itself, they're very knowledgeable. They're giving all sorts of information. You can even just tell by the way they're dropping it here in our Crypto Hideout chat too. So I think that very friendly people by the looks, and happy to answer any questions and any concerns or whatever you have. There's always going to be somebody over there in the Telegram group to help you out, I think. So yeah, anyways, Whitaker, it's been a really cool chatting with you about everything VSG and VSC and all the updates and everything that you're doing here. And I'm looking forward to the future. So yeah, I just want to see if there's anything else that you think we might have missed or that we didn't cover. What do you think?
I think we covered pretty much everything. Like I say, it gives people an opportunity to come into the Telegram and ask questions. We do regular VCs in there, and like I said, you will see a lot of our community. There's a lot of them that are well averse to everything that's going on. So it's, we're generally, both myself and Jason, the team, we're in the background, we're doing what we're meant to be doing. But, we've spent enough time with the community for them to answer the questions to new members. So, if anyone's got any questions, just pop in. We do keep an eye on the main chat. It's not that we're never there. I do keep an eye on the main chat and we do answer questions. But, any moderator or admin in there, they know all the backline stuff, so just ask away and we'll get your questions sorted.
Hey, Whitaker,
yeah. Well, there you have it, folks.
A little bit about the wallet that's coming for the chain. Tell them about that face melter.
See what I mean?
Yeah, I want to hear about this too.
Right. I weren't going to say anything about it. I was just going to let people come and learn, but here we go. So the VSC wallet's going to be completely different to anything you've ever seen, right? It's going to be more like a trading platform than just like a MetaMask. It's going to be going to have an inbuilt radio station in there, so you'll be able to stream live radio, which is crypto radio that we've created ourselves. So we're going to have a blockchain radio. There's going to be one-click trading. There's not going to be any of this having to connect to this and connect to that. You'll have the app, which will be the VSC wallet app. You'll connect to that, and like I say, you'll start to trade. So when tokens launch in there, they'll have like a launch section. They'll come up and there'll be a buy and sell button. So we're going to make it basically as simple as possible for people to trade, because we find there is a massive disconnect between crypto people and regular traders, and especially the FX market and everything else. Those guys have got plenty of platforms where they just click buy, sell, buy, sell. We're going to make it extremely easy for people to get in and out of tokens through our VSC app. So it's something that's in development. That's why I didn't mention too much about it, Mr. Crypto Man. So there's a lot of different things changing with it, but it's going to be something that's not been seen before. Again, we're concentrating on first moving technology, and we're also concentrating on crossing the bridge between the crypto people and the general public, basically.
You see that's cool, man. Our developers are? That's crazy. Way to go, Whitaker.
Not a problem, man.
Well, it sounds like you guys definitely have a lot of support from the community. And if there's anybody else maybe that's listening in the AMA that would like to mention what they think about, VSG, or, anybody has any questions or anything like that, any comments, we like to keep it cool here, open forum, allow everybody to participate as they wish. So if anybody does have a question or whatever, let me know, or just go ahead and talk. or if you have anything else you'd like to mention, your support for the project or whatever else, your story about how you've been involved with VSG from whatever time, feel free. Don't know if there's anybody for that, but
hey, Mystic,
hey, bro.
There's a question from Rarest Whale on your chat. You want to go and take a look at that and ask Jan that question?
Sure. Yeah. I'll check it out.
It's about 7 or 8 messages back.
Yeah, and by the way, guys, I just had a look at the markets, and things are moving up nicely just today. So, I mean, well, just when I looked 5 minutes ago, at least from what they were 5 minutes ago when I looked before, it's sort of jumping all over the place. So, somebody, who was the person? Rarest Whale. Let me look here. He says he understands that the liquidity was pulled from the previous project to develop VSG. Or VSC, which may have negatively impacted some investors. What assurances can you provide that this will not happen again with the VSG project? So I guess he's saying, how will you ensure that there's not more rebrands or relaunches or this sort of thing, migrations?
It's purely because the reason why we had to do it in the first place, it was because of the name change, right? We didn't want to run any further down the line, especially into the mainnet launch being called Vitalik. And also at the particular time when we was getting to the development, there's code within the blockchain that we had to start entering the name into, right? So we needed to do the rebrand as quickly as possible. But once this rebrand process is over, that's it. It's Vector. We've gained our own identity now, whereas previously we was running on a different identity. So we're not going to encounter any problems going forward with trying to sell our blockchain under the name of Vector, whereas we would have had problems with Vitalik. So what we've done is we've basically preempted issues, which is what you want a team to do. You don't want us to, we could have gone on as Vitalik Smart Gas and run into this problem later down the line, and that would have been a big problem. So we've kind of had the foresight to see it before it happened.
Right, absolutely makes sense. I agree with you. It's probably a good reason to relaunch it. Now, there is a few more questions coming in here. Alex here has asked a few really good questions, actually. He said, how is the risks managed when it comes to staking or lending? Staking, for example, the APYs and things, are those going to be variable? Or is those going to be stabilized? And he asked a few more questions. So he asked that. He also asked, what are the incentives for people staking? I guess obviously that would just be the APRs and the APYs, but also the one other interesting question that he wanted to know, which I think is a great question, is how are the developers going to be incentivized to create new applications and build upon the VSC ecosystem? What sort of use cases are there for that? So I would say that the two questions boil down to, how is the staking managed? Is there going to be a variable or a stabilized sort of APY, APR, and as well as how are developers going to be incentivized to build on chain?
So again, that's down to the backliner stuff, and with Jason would be able to answer that one. But I'm sure it will be variable, like I said, with obviously the different amounts of percentage that the validators get from the delegators. But again, that's not my expertise, that's Jason's side of things, so I can't really answer that to 100% knowledge. The incentivization for developers to come to chain, obviously, we're going to be actively doing worldwide hackathons and everything else. After time, when we start to pick up a bit more speed, there will be development funds that we can start to bring in. We have got funding behind the line. I can't tell you how much and I can't tell you who it's from, but we have funding coming in. So we are going to be incentivizing developers to come to chain, to stay on the VSC network, to build with us. The incentives right now, obviously, we've not created them, but it is something that the team's looking into.
Right. Well, I think it'll be amazing to, if you guys could even offer a grant or something like that for good developers or good applications and things like that.
We know, it's like Polygon at the minute. I think they've got some different funds out for, to bring to developers to chain. We'll be no different. We'll be doing absolutely everything we can as soon as that chain's live to bring as many transactions to chain, right?
Oops, We got to be careful here. I know some people, we did a little bit of a, we allowed everybody to be unmuted just because we keep it open here, but sometimes people.
I think Grease Monkey were having a bit of fun there.
He was. Do you know Grease Monkey?
I don't know. I don't know. I've seen his name about, to be fair, in different channels, but it sounded like you're having some fun.
Right.
Hey, let him celebrate. He just bought his first NFT. He deserves
there you go, then.
Is that right? How's it going, Grease Monkey? I heard you there for a minute. You said, hey.
Doing good, sir.
Oh, so I had him muted then. I didn't hear what he said.
He said,
I
good.
was playing with my daughter. I accidentally unmute myself. My bad.
No worries.
No worries, man. No worries. Hey, thanks for stopping by the AMA as well, Grease Monkey, and everybody who's come by the AMA, as we are probably coming towards a close. But there are more questions that have come through as well. And speaking of people that we see around the space, there is a someone in particular here named the G, who is really well known around the space, and he's in a lot of different groups with me. So he wanted to ask a few questions as well. The G, if you want to go ahead with your questions, feel free.
Yeah, hello, good evening, good day, good afternoon, good morning. Yeah, so Mystic, you know me that I'm always critical, and if I'm too critical, then I don't even ask some questions. Based on VSG, I came to that one at Pink Cell back then. And then when I saw how much they did raise, and then they're coming from Pink Cell, I wasn't interested in the project at all. Mostly because of Pink Cell, because I know Pink Cell since it launched, and I don't like those projects out there. And I never followed up the project. And hearing now 39 million of how much it was the market cap.
Yeah, we did pretty well.
Just impressive. Yeah.
Not one KOL, by the way, just so you're all aware. Not one KOL was used. Yeah. Not one.
No, I mean, don't get me wrong, but I have my experience with Pink Cell, and I don't like project launch on the Pink Cell. If I knew that you will be, let's say, that 1% of the project, then it will change the complete story for myself. But it's hard to find that 1% of the projects.
Absolutely.
The thing is, being critical with the rebranding now, I'm speechless. I like everything I heard, really. There is no negativity. There is absolutely nothing. The only thing that I hope that all those, let's say, promises will come to take the place sooner or later. And I have a question about those NFTs. Are those NFTs, because the project is, let's say, a specific one. For myself, I find it as a specific one, something that I like. Those NFTs, they are somehow smart contract linked, where I can shift NFTs from the wallet to the wallet and anyway gain my, let's say, commission. Or I need to connect my wallet to the app and then I will get...
Yeah, so basically there'll be a DApp on VSC where when you connect your wallet that contains your NFT, it'll recognize which NFT it is and it'll distribute your share of the rewards, yeah.
Okay, I thought maybe you made it a little bit unique way that you can shift the NFT wherever you want. The one who has the NFTs in the wallet, he doesn't need to connect nowhere. Will be, let's say, sort automatically. But if not the case, okay, not the issue.
We can certainly look at something like that. The good thing with the developers that we've got, nothing is out of the scope for us, right? So this is another thing about VSG. We're not closed off developers and say, oh, this is how we're doing it. We're not interested in your suggestions. All suggestions will be put forward. If it's a good idea, we'll look at it. If it can be done, we'll do it. You know?
Okay, great. And I have another question because Mystic sent me shortly before the AMA the invitation link, so I didn't look up about anything. How much is the market cap right now at the CoinStar?
Let me just check for you. Let me get this info right.
Yeah, I don't have an account on CoinStore myself, but I might have to go get one.
Yeah, it's currently, the price is currently 0.0008, which would be equivalent, because obviously it's a 10 billion supply, which would be equivalent of 8.3 million. So obviously we're going to be launching on the DEX around about the same price. So it'd be between 8 and 10 million that will be launching on DEX.
Okay, if the price drastically changes, higher or lower, you're still going to launch 8 million market cap, or you will launch conform the market cap price at CoinStore?
We will be cutting out arbitrage straight away. So we'll marry the prices up as quickly as we can.
Okay, that's all. Thanks for the answer.
Not a problem.
Well, hey, great questions, the G. You always have such good questions in AMAs. Very impressed by that. You should become an AMA host and be asking the questions too.
No, I'm a bad speaker.
Oh, I think you have great questions though. How about this? I'll do the speaking and you send me the questions in the background. Then I can take it easy, right?
I look forward to seeing
sure. We can make a deal like that.
We need you in the VSG Telegram. Get yourself over. We like questions. When we generally have a VC in there, it's like crickets. No one wants to ask a question. They want to type everything. But not that we mind that. That's fine.
The problem is, when I join some Telegram groups and I ask some questions, there are also, let's say, sort of admins or moderators. They don't fully understand what I'm talking about, and they maybe mistake some questions or something what I write as a FAT and so on. So I always like to speak with people behind the project directly, not face to face, but let's say voice to voice, to have that another connections, because I know what I'm asking, you know what you're answering, and that's it.
Absolutely. No, I mean you'll find that all the mods and everything, they've been around and they've been invested since day one, a lot of them, so they're well averse to the project. So we don't ban people for asking questions. We never have done. It's the only thing we ban for is people that are particularly fudding or doing whatever else, and that's it really.
Okay, no, sure.
That's fair enough.
I'm driving now. I have still something like 1,000 kilometers to drive, and when I reach destination, I will join the DG. Like I said, the first time when I saw you guys, I was looking completely negative about it, but now I'm looking completely positive about you.
Fantastic. That's great to hear.
Yeah, thanks so much, G, for the questions and for coming to the AMA and everything, and as well as everybody who's come by. It's been great to have this AMA. I've really enjoyed it myself. I think we've mostly covered the questions. Again, if anybody does have any more questions, please feel free to go ahead. But one question that did come through, just so we cover this for Badger or Badger, she's asked: will claiming NFT rewards, will there be a $4 transaction involved with that? So every sort of process, everything on the VSC blockchain will have a $4 transaction.
Yes. If you connect and you do a transaction, it'll cost you $4. Yes.
Gotcha. So that should answer your question there, Badger. And yeah, guys, one last shout out. Anybody that has a question, just jump right in. Interrupt me, please, because I know we all know I talk more than enough.
It's usually the same with me. I can't shut myself up half the time, but people like it for some reason. They like the Yorkshire accent. I do not know why.
It sounds pretty. Yeah, it's the British, the English. They have pretty nice accents over there lots of times. So may as well. But hey, look, I think things looking pretty good. I think we've covered a lot here. We'll definitely be wrapping up that recording as well and sending it out, posting that out for anybody that's missed anything. But yeah, I just want to say it's been a great AMA. Really enjoyed it myself and love diving into everything.
I just want to say,
anybody wants to get involved.
Just one more thing. Anyone who in the technical questions want those answering, please come to the Telegram. Like I say, we'll get them answered for you. But obviously, when you put on the spot and you don't know the answer, it's better off to put it off, because there's better for me to put it off and get you the correct information than tell you a lie, basically. So if you do require that technical information, come over to the Telegram. We'll work it out for you.
Amazing stuff. Amazing stuff. Well, definitely join up with them, guys. You can check out the website at vsgofficial.com. There's all the links available. There's also a white paper there if you want to dive in for yourself, do a little more research, and look at some of those technical aspects on the white paper as well. But definitely, I would say the best thing is to join up at the Telegram group. That's t.me/VSG portal. You can get involved over there and, stay up to date with everything, keep your finger on the pulse, and ask any questions or comments that you have over there. It seems like a very friendly community from what I've witnessed myself. So with that said, I'd like to just thank everybody for coming by to the AMA. It's been absolutely great to have you guys here with us. Welcome anybody to the Crypto Hideout who's not been here before with us, or that you're new here. It's great that you guys come and hung out, and I hope you enjoyed the AMA, and it was not only entertaining, but informative and everything else like that. So thanks for stopping by to the Crypto Hideout. This has been Mr. Crypto with the VSC project, and Whitaker here representing that. So a big shout out to those guys as well. And Whitaker, great job on the AMA.
Thank you. Thank you. Cheers, guys. Thanks for popping in.
Absolutely. All right, guys. Well, we're gonna wrap up this recording. Make sure to stick around with us at the end here. Don't go anywhere too soon. We do have some giveaways to give as well, including a gold NFT for the VSG project. So that is pretty dang exciting. Not only that, we do have a few cash prizes as well. So stick around with us. Don't go anywhere too soon. We're going to wrap up this recording, but this has been Mystic Crypto and Whitaker with the VSC Project Vector Coin in the current process of rebanding. So definitely check them out on Telegram at the VSG portal. And we'll see you guys next time on the next voice chat or AMA or live stream and the Crypto Hideout. So peace out, everybody. Thanks for stopping by, and we'll catch you next time. Hang on.